All right, guys, so today I'm going to show you how to make our tessellation project, okay? So you're going to start out with an index card like this, okay? So we're all getting an index card. You're all going to get a pair of scissors. The very first thing that you want to do is take your index card and fold it directly in half. Make a nice crease so that you have perfectly in half like that. Then we're going to cut it along that crease so that we have two index cards out of one. So we're going to cut it. Now I have two perfect squares, okay? So now I have two tries with one card. So take one of these. We're going to make some cuts, okay? The way that we cut it from corner to corner, okay? This is going to be what's called the unit cell, what we're going to tessellate, okay? So I take either the top or the bottom and I cut from corner to corner, and then one of the sides from corner to corner. Again, it doesn't matter if I start at the top or the bottom, okay? So I'm just gonna start at the top of mine. You can draw a design or you can just freehand cut like I'm gonna do. You start at the corner and you can go low, or you can cut way down into the card. Okay, so maybe I do a little bit both. Stop at that corner. So I just cut this out of this, okay? I'm going to leave that right there for a minute. Now I'm going to pick one of these sides, and from corner to corner I cut one of the sides. So since I cut the top, I don't cut the bottom. So now I'm going to pick one of the sides and I'm going to cut. Again, I'm going to go from corner to corner. I think I will pick this side. And here I'm just going to go kind of, and again, corner to corner. Okay? So that's the piece I cut from that corner. Okay? So I cut top and I cut one of the sides. So now what I'm going to do, I take the piece that I cut off the top and I slide it down to the bottom and I line it up corner to corner, edge to edge, and I tape it. Okay? So I'm going to line that up. And this, I think, is the hardest part, getting it taped nice. So I've done that. So then I'm going to take this piece that I cut from this side and slide it over to the side that I did not cut, and again, line it up and tape it. This is your unit cell. So in the directions where it talks about the unit cell, this is the unit cell that we have just created. Okay? So here's my unit cell. So now this is what I'm going to be tessellating and making pictures out of. So now this is what I have to try to figure out. What am I going to turn this guy into? Okay? What does it look like? Get creative. I see there, maybe that's a fish that I see. You know? Maybe it's a UFO. Okay? Here, maybe it's a person. Okay? Maybe this is their great big long nose and this is their hat. Maybe it's a leaf, okay, that I'm going to put some different designs on. I could make, this could be a mouth, okay. Get creative. You're going to try to figure out, what is this? What can you turn it into? And this is where, for once in my class, I'm going to tell you, you can use your phone. You can pull your phone out. You can Google to get different ideas, or if you want to trace something. But that's the important thing. First, get your unit cell done. If you don't like this one, you can't figure anything out, you have the other side of that index card that you can go ahead and use and make as well. If out of those two you still don't like it, or if you mess them up, I have lots of index cards. Just ask Miss Bliss for another one and she will give you another one. Here's another one that I had made earlier. So maybe this is like a Viking or something, or an animal. Okay, those could be horns. Get creative. After you get that, what you're going to do, you're also going to be given a piece of paper, the long sheet of paper like this. We're not going to use, there's a little short one, we're going to use the long piece of paper. You now want to trace your unit cell onto the paper, okay? You're going to do this with no gaps or overlaps, okay? So let's see if I can put this where you can see where I'm tracing it. So I start out here. And if you need to tape this to your paper, you can tape it to your paper to make it easier. But we're just going to trace what we had here. you're going to take a lot more time and be much neater with yours than I am. I'm quickly trying to show you how this is going to work. All right, so then after you trace it the first time, you're going to slide it over, right? And you see how it's going to line up perfectly. That part is going to line up perfectly in there. Hopefully you can see that. And you're going to continue to trace it. And you're going to do this to cover the entire sheet. It doesn't matter if your paper, you chose to make it horizontal or vertical. But again, we're tracing. So right now I have that. If I move it, slide it again, come down here. Okay, so I'm going to do one whole row, then I'll come down, move it down here, so I see that this is where it lines up. And so trace it again until I have traced the entire thing on the entire paper, and there's no gaps and no overlaps. Okay, and so I would have something to work with. Okay? Again, yours is going to be completely filled in. Okay? Then, again, you're figuring out what you have made your little unit cell out of. I'm going to show you some examples. Okay? Use this unit cell to draw your design on or to color and decorate before you do it on here and have to start all over. Right? There is lots of extra paper. Okay? So if you need another paper to start over with, you can get another one. All right? If you cannot figure anything to make this into, you can draw pictures on each of them individually. So let me show you some examples, okay? And we'll talk about how you're going to get graded. This, of course, is worth a 50-point test grade, okay? So you're going to get graded on its neatness, so 10 points for neatness, okay? That means you took your time tracing this. There's not all kinds of eraser marks. Your paper's not all crumpled up or anything. You're going to get 10 points for creativity, and we're going to talk about that when I show you some examples that would work. You're going to get 10 points for does it cover the entire page? Okay, so that means did you cover the entire page on this with your unit cell? You're going to get 10 points for coloring, okay? And so we're going to talk about you coloring. You don't have to color the whole page. Some of it can be left white, and I'm going to show you some examples of ones that got good grades that left parts of it white, okay? But also with the coloring, we'll go with the neatness. Make sure that I can tell that you colored it and that it doesn't look like a 2-year-old or 3-year-old colored it. You're getting 2 class periods, block class periods to work on this, so take your time, okay? You're getting 5 points for turning this in, okay? So put your name on it. Put your name on the back of this paper. When you are done with this, you will tape this to the back of this. This is 5 points getting turned in. Then you're also getting 5 points for constructing this properly, for following the directions, cutting from corner to corner, top, sliding it to the bottom, taping it, cutting one of the sides corner to corner, and then taping it, okay? So if you don't turn this in, you automatically lose out on 10 points because I can't see that you constructed it well enough or correctly, and you don't get the points for turning it in. So make sure that you put your name on it, tape it to the back of your paper, okay? So let's look at some examples. I've already told you about the ones that are hanging up in the room, so you can see all the ones that are hanging up all over the room, okay? So let's look at some of them that have been turned in over the years, and we'll talk about, is it a good one? Is it not a good one, okay? So this one here, okay, they did a picture inside each of their little cell, okay? They made a hourglass, looks pretty cool. They didn't do any coloring, okay? They lost points on coloring, okay? They ran out of time and they chose not to work on it at home, so they paid the price for that. This one, can you tell what it is? Yeah, me neither. It's pretty much nothing, okay? This, 0 points for creativity. If you just put an eyeball on it and call it an animal with an eyeball, or call it a shape colored or a puzzle piece, that is 0 creativity, okay? So don't do that. This one, awesome creativity, right? Look, they were taking marshmallows and like turning them into flaming marshmallows. Ran out of time coloring, didn't take it home to finish, so ran out of some time. They could have left a lot of this white and still been good shape, but they would have needed to finish the red coloring down here, okay? This one, what is it? I don't know, they gave it an eyeball and moved on, okay? So don't do that. And again, like, look at the coloring there. It's not nice, even strokes. Another, I don't know, puzzle piece, just colored. This is one where they gave it some eyes. They gave it a tongue sticking out. A little more creative, right? Not creative. Right? This is an example, one where I was talking about if you can't figure out what to turn this into, what it looks like, that you could draw different designs on each of them. I have several of those hanging up in the back. One of them has like the different seasons on it, and then one has some Disney. This is another Disney one, so they just took and they put different Disney pictures in each tessellation, okay? And so again, a tessellation is just something that repeats the same pattern over and over and over. A lot of my posters that I have hanging up, the MC Escher posters, are tessellations. Here's rubber duckies. Cute, right? You can tell exactly what it is. You can tell that they took their time coloring, okay? And notice over here, they did this part in blue, right? Here we did, I believe these were iguanas, okay? Creative, okay? And then they gave like the branch that they're sitting on. Again, I'm just going to kind of show you some different ideas, different ones that we have here. Another one. So again, see, these are all the same, but they have different designs, different patterns. So you don't have to stick with the exact same pattern, the exact same design. We have chickens. This one, they just put eyeballs on it, right? And the coloring doesn't look like they spent a lot of time. It looks like they were pretty rushed and didn't spend time coloring, okay? Not creative, not very neat. Again, just an eyeball, okay? That's all that I see is an eyeball here. This is one where they didn't do a whole bunch of coloring, but because of the theme of theirs, they got a pretty good grade because look, they're ghosts. Okay? They gave each ghost a different tie to make it kind of different and colored those things and then started coloring some of the little backgrounds. But ghosts, for the most part, are white, so that's pretty good. I'm sure you guys recognize this one, okay, who that is. And again, creative, absolutely. Do you have to be an artist to get this? No. Again, you can use your Chromebook, trace something that you find online, and then put it on here, okay? Use your phone, get some kind of ideas. Doesn't mean you're going to be on your phone the entire time, right? You're getting this done because it's a test grade. Here's one, okay? So again, they were going to turn it into an animal, okay? Nice. They did planets, different planets. Let's see, this one, kitty cats, but they did each kitty cat kind of different. And again, you can see all of the ones hanging up around the room. You can look at those as well. So again, this is the Tessellation project. The rubric and everything is in the Canvas announcement along with this video. If you have any questions, Miss Cogdill next door has done this project many years, just like I have. Please ask her. Feel free to shoot me an email. I may or may not be able to answer it. I look forward to coming back hopefully next week and seeing all of your creations. Again, you will get the 2 class periods to work on this in class. So it will be due next week at the end of the class period, the first class period you have next week. Bye guys, hope you're doing great.